Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Malabash Spotlight. So excited to be here today with Amy Scruggs. She is a award-winning music producer, artist, everything. I mean, she's done so many things. I'm really excited to have her here today because she's got a wonderful story and message to share. And we're also going to dive a little bit into her one of her hit singles that's out, "What If It All Goes Right," which is a completely different way of thinking. But anyways, Amy, thanks so much for being here today. I'm really excited to have you.
I've been looking forward to this all week, so really great to see you as well.
Oh, it's so awesome. First, we're just gonna dive and get to know you a little bit more, Amy. And I had some fun little questions here to throw out there, to just get the audience to learn more about you. A couple fun questions is what is your favorite vacation spot?
Ooh, 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 ooh. I always say Hawaii because I really do just love Hawaii, but I have to say that Bali was spectacular as well.
Wow.
And I tremendously enjoyed Thailand and Japan. So it's
Wow.
hard to say. I've had different experiences. I've also did a safari in Africa, so I've been able to have some really amazing experiences, and it's hard to choose just one. But if you could just say, "Amy, you can get away for a couple days and hop on a plane," especially being here on the West Coast, I would say I would hop over to Hawaii.
Okay, that's really wow. You a safari. That sounds really cool. Okay, that's fantastic. What is your favorite drink of choice?
Okay, so we start with a morning cup of coffee. But
Thank God.
besides that, it's got to be a cucumber martini with Bombay gin.
Whoa, that sounds so good. I've never had that, that's for sure. So that
Cucumber martini. That's it. That's my drink.
sounds very fresh. I love it. That sounds very springy. Um, so you are a public speaker. You've done so many different things, especially with music. You've done a lot of openings for large music artists, and now it's like
Yes.
your time to shine. And I'm just really excited to learn more about how you got started, and whatever you like to share, from whatever points is good to go.
Okay.
So tell us
You know,
about it because there's
it's
so
it's
much
been an
to talk
interesting
about.
journey. Yeah, and like the Cliff Note version, but just kind of a little bit of the background here, because now sitting in this seat here talking with you, I've had the last 5 years as a TV host. I
Love
have my best-selling book, Lights, Camera, Action, for media coaching for professionals, because these have been skills and tools after performing for a lot of years, after doing everything that I've done. These are skills that I've acquired, and my answer to everything is the word shift. If you don't learn to shift with life, with business, with things that are thrown at you, then success isn't going to happen. And sometimes success is in the form of failure, which has been a big example for my journey. But I started in business 20 years ago in the wholesale mortgage world, and I was all over Southern California as a basically, underwriting in the field, but going and representing the bank to bring in those mortgage loans for the bank from the mortgage brokers. And it was a very competitive, highly charged industry that I learned really quick that if I did not have effective communication, didn't know my material, know my talking points, I was going to get eaten alive, which I was close to anyways. But it really, I leveled up very quickly and I shifted. I had never been in that industry before. I had an amazing woman that took a chance on me. And I think all of us have a story about somebody that said, "I'm going to take a chance on you." That is where we are today. I think that there's a lot of who you know, or making connections and relationships, that is critical to growth in any business, in any industry. And this was that first time for me. Was I met an incredible woman who was a single mom, cancer survivor, and was running this branch for this bank. And I interviewed and said, "I have none of the skills. I have no idea anything about this job, but here's what I would love to do. And here's what I'd love to learn from you." And she gave me a chance. And 6 months later, I was the number one rep for the country for this particular bank. And I think it was because I was so grateful for what she did that I wanted to honor her and thank her, and ended up bringing in my own success and learning communications, how to ask for help, how to ask for resources, how to learn and memorize my products, memorize what it is I'm doing, and meet the needs of my clients, allowed me to accelerate. And I realized at that time that skill set was going to be invaluable. And here I sit 20 years later, that skill set was literally the foundation to go everywhere else. I was able to then start going to Nashville in 2004 and start recording. So I was still in mortgage and still in sales and flying back and forth and starting to fulfill that dream because I had performed since I was 3 years old. I had been singing. I started playing piano by ear at 3 years old. I knew that music was my future. And if you asked me when I was a kid, what was I going to be when I grew up? My answer was Barbara Mandrell. That was the answer. I was going to be Barbara Mandrell when I grew up. And so I was always performing, singing in events around the county and around Southern California, working my mortgage business, flying back and forth to Nashville. And a giant shift took place. We can all remember what happened in 2007, and the mortgage and real estate industry collapsed. We had a recession. Everything that I did went along with that. And I had mouths to feed. I had children. And it was a tremendous tragedy coming in saying, now what do I do? I'm in my 30s. I'm in my early 30s. Now what do I do? And so I shifted. And I'm like, well, I love music. I love to perform. I love selling. I understand how to communicate and how to go ask for the business. Why don't I just do that for myself? And 6 months later, I had the opportunity to open for Clint Black in Arizona and started that next trajectory of being an opener for major artists across the country and took the kids with me and we toured and we asked for the business. And it was an incredible time. And during that time, I also was able to align myself with the military and veteran community. I did a lot of volunteering with that and was passionate about that, and ended up becoming the spokesperson for the American Veterans for the state of California for 3 of those years. So a lot of our touring and a lot of our performances was dedicated to the military and veteran community. And then had some other tragedies. Now, fast forward to 2011, had some other tragedies. My bass player died suddenly. We did lose our home, wasn't able to just make ends meet enough during that time. It was difficult. And so I had to give that up and start over and made the move to San Diego, where on a Thursday, I was in a stadium opening for Trace Adkins for thousands and thousands of people. And on a Monday, I was in a cubicle in San Diego starting over again in the mortgage industry. And that was a difficult shift. But I knew to walk through that shift, and you don't know what's ahead. You don't know which tools are going to happen from all of that, what relationships I was going to make. And so 11 years ago, that shift took place. And fast forward the last 5 years as a national TV host for a huge show, the American Dream TV. I have produced and hosted 4 other shows: Veterans One, Operation American Dream, Retiring Right. I've been able to be the main media personality and voice and face of Mutual of Omaha Mortgage still to this day. I have private clients and media coaching because I love it. I understand what it takes to be comfortable in front of the camera and to learn how to share your message. And then during the pandemic, that we had to shift again. 2020 happens. Here's a shift. I couldn't go into the TV studio. I couldn't be out in front of people. And I'm like, it's time to put pen to paper. It's time to share these tips that I've learned, to share stories of clients I've worked with, of people that I've worked with the last years, and share their success stories. And that's what went into Lights, Camera, Action. And at the same time, after 18 years, I got a phone call from my A&R rep and from Nashville that has stayed my friend all these years, never given up on me, and said, Amy, are you ready to finally do your next music project, your dream project? I have one of the greatest producers of all time that wants to meet you. And so all of a sudden during the pandemic, all of my no's turned into yeses. And I was able to make another shift and said yes. I said yes to everything. And I don't think that I have slept or stopped since. But here we are now. I recorded a year ago in Nashville. And now a year later, I've got a best-selling book, and my song is charting across the world with What If It All Goes Right. And I'm here with you, meeting amazing people through podcasting and interviewing and radio interviews, and I'm still coaching. And it's so much fun to see how all of these tragedies or losses or shifting has led to what I'm doing today. And it's taught me to be prepared for whatever shift is coming ahead.
That's amazing. I mean, just awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping. I mean, I can't keep up with everything, it's just so
Neither
much,
can
so
I.
many amazing experiences and, highs and lows. And I think it's a really good key to remember too, that there's not always the highs of things, there's the lows, and there's reality and everything. And you've come through so
Yes.
much, and you're such a veteran, and you've done so many, you push so many boundaries where a lot of people would just be like, okay, I'm done. Like, I'm just going to go get that
Right.
9 to 5 job. I'm going to do the safe and simple thing right now. And, kind of go with what I need to do for my, the safe side, instead
Right.
of I'm doing for my dreams and my mental health and what I'm doing for me.
Right. I'm
And
a huge risk taker, as you can see. I don't
yeah,
mind pushing that envelope because, and what it does is those lows, I mean, they were bad. Those
yeah,
lows are really brutal, but it makes the highs so much greater. And you can't, in safe in the middle, you're not going to have those great experiences. You're not going to feel that tremendous moment. And I don't care if it fails because failure is just an indicator to go the next direction to where I'm supposed to be. Failure isn't failure. No isn't no. It's just like, oh, awesome. I got an answer. No is a great answer in anything. Even if it's something you put your heart and soul into, no is still an answer. And it says, okay, it's obviously I'm leading another direction and I need to go recreate and I need to retool. And I will be thankful that I can say I've literally had 9 lives at the end of my journey, whenever that is, that I didn't just live one life for these years. I literally have had multiple lives and they have created opportunity for me to say, I don't have regret. I may have pain, I may have loss, but I don't have regret because I will never say I didn't try.
that's amazing. You're such an inspiration, and I know you take that into your speaking and stuff that you do, and you've done a lot of speaking. I've, been following a bit on it, and it's just absolutely inspiring because you can't learn from somebody that hasn't really experienced it. I mean, there's the people that have the theories out there, but until you actually experience it and you go through and you have that real world experience, you're not
Yes.
coming from a place of necessarily authority on it, and I think you really have that passion and that authority on the situations about, you know, pushing for your dreams. And I
Just
remember when we
pushing
first
through. Mhm.
talked on the phone, I was so blown away and it was like, this is fantastic. I need this. Everybody needs to know to just keep pushing, because like you said, no's are also an answer. And it's not necessarily a bad answer. It just you need to, keep going or redirect or, just take it and learn from it to move
Yes.
on.
One of my favorite coaches taught me, David Meltzer says, if you knew that you were 25 no's away from getting what you want, from getting what you worked for, wouldn't you be excited when you got to know 19, 20, 21? Like, I'm a little closer. I'm a little closer. Those no's are leading. I bet you could not find a person to interview to just say, the first time I tried this, everything was perfect and worked, and my life has been great ever since. Everybody has that story. The times they've been turned down, the rejections, the losses, the starting overs, the do-overs, the lessons learned. The difference there is the lessons learned. Do we take no and pain as an indicator that there's a lesson to be learned? I'm going to move that forward. I'm going to take that into this next thing and try not to repeat it or know how to handle it when it happens again. If the rug comes out from underneath me again tomorrow, doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. Doesn't mean I'm not going to feel the same pain and fear or anything that anybody else does, but it's okay, time to shift again, time to retool. What tools do I have from all the other lessons that could allow me to get out of this? And as humans, we really do all have that in there. We know we've got a tool to pull from something we've been from before to find the solution or ask for help or resources and to figure that out.
No, that's absolutely true. And I really think that that's a huge inspiration for, your music too that you've created. And I want to dive into that a little bit as well. Like
Oh my
this
gosh,
is,
it's so
I
much fun.
love making, yay! I'm so excited about this. But your music is just amazing. And I love the song title. I think it kind of says it all there. But, what if it all goes right?
Yep.
Because success is not always going to be that perfect picture of, oh, I did the one interview and I did a great job. And my life, I'm
Right.
now a superstar. That pretty much never happens at all. So,
Well, and I even joked when I found the title, and I love my parents. So if they're listening, mom and dad, I love you so much. Thank you for everything you did. But this title was also that anti upbringing because I have a mom that's very like, oh no, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this is going to happen? What if that's going to happen with the boys? And what about this? And what about that? And I'm always like, hey, now what? But what if it goes right? And I've always pushed against that. And so this song and all the lyrics in it, I'm like, that's what I've been saying for years. That's what I've always lived by. And I had so many people, even when I was touring. I mean, we were in a recession. I'm touring with 4 kids. My oldest son is my lead guitar player. He started playing for me at 17. And so he has been on all the major shows with me, all the national stages. He's written some of the music that we do in our live show. He's incredible. He's almost 31 years old now. And it was like, what if taking the kids? Yeah, but what if it works? And it did work. It did. We made something out of nothing at a time that we could have crumbled or been on, government resources. We made it happen. And I'm proud to share that with my kids so that they can what if up, so that they can be in a situation now as adults and they go, "Well, what if this and what if I lose my job?" Okay, what if you lose your job? We brush up your resume, we go get you another one. We have resources and family it's going to support and make sure you don't crumble and we're going to take you to the next stage. There's no bad outcome. Let's just learn the lessons and keep moving forward. So I sometimes feel bad for the kids that they have me as a mom because I don't like, "Oh, I know." I'm like, "Yes, I know this hurts, but what if it goes right?" And so that's kind of that mantra, and I hope that they do take that from me. But back to the music, yes. Um, I didn't dream. I had those years of touring. My single back 10 years ago, an amazing song I still love to this day called Coming Home. And it was the anthem for our veteran community. And it was actually the theme song for American veterans when we were touring all that time. Incredible. And I thought that that was kind of my last song, right? I mean, here I was in my late 30s, I'm going into my 40s. I'm like, okay, that's it. Because even in my early 30s, Nashville was saying, you're too old. Right? So I already was kind of, I allowed that stigma to kind of go in a little bit. And then I went out and did it in my, mid to late 30s and was like, no, I still got this. But I thought that that song was it. I never really did dream that that phone would ring again and I would have this opportunity. And Fred Mullen is one of the most incredible producers of all time. His work is legendary. And we met on a Zoom in the middle of pandemic and he goes, okay, I'll do it. Let's do a project. Let's put music together. And so James, who had believed in me for 18 years, James Ray's my A&R manager. We did the song searching process. He went through more than 1,000 songs and would pick through and send me and email me for a year. We went back and forth about maybe 8 months, whatever. But he would email me songs and I'd be like, yes, no, and listening. Well, there was a stack of songs in an email and I saw the title, What If It All Goes Right? And I'm like, ooh, I've been saying that. And I heard it. I heard the demo and said, that's it. That one goes in hands down. No question. We were picking 5 songs for the EP out of 1,000 and What If stood out to me. And I knew this was a hit. I knew this was a message the world would need to hear. I had no idea a year and some odd ago when I picked it, the world would need it as much as we even do today. But I'm so grateful. I really feel it was a blessing that it was chosen for me. And when we went into studio, just magic happened that day. Even in the first take, it was just like, this is it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's resonating. I love it.
It's absolutely amazing, and I wanted to just pop it up here while you're talking about it because it can play in the background while
And then
you're
I'll share a little
talking
bit
about
about
it.
how this video came together and what I envisioned on it. So please, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So continue to talk about it, and I'm gonna pull up a clip that we have of it for just a little bit, so you guys can get a really great sneak peek of it because it's just not a sneak peek, but go watch it. I mean, it's already up to 60,000 views. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yes, as an independent artist, and this is organically, people are saying, I want to hear this message. I want to have that in my life that I want to think, what if it goes right? And I wanted to showcase individuals of all ages, all demographics, having a moment of their win, having that moment that it went right, because we can all share stories of how it can go wrong. There's no
Mhm.
question it can go wrong. But what if it goes right? And so I really chose the imagery for this. And I wanted it to just be a celebration. And even for me, as a 49-year-old woman in this video, to say I am not too old for Nashville. I'm not too old for music. I'm finally old enough to be taken seriously and young enough to still
Yes.
take action. And I wanted to showcase me just in my natural setting. This was filmed in Carlsbad Beach here where I live in San Diego. And I mean, it was 4-day hair. I did my own makeup and just said, let's just go on the beach and have some fun and make this a celebration song. And then pull in those other clips that show people having their moments of win at all ages. And that's what you're seeing here. I'm really excited to see how well the song and the video has been received and to take my years of being in television to know how to produce and put a video together and what that imagery needed to look like, and my years of knowing how to put it out there, how to market it, how put this together, and then the years of knowing how to perform and finding the right song and the combination thereof is a little bit magical right now.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. The words, I mean, your passion and just everything that goes along with this video. It's perfectly timed out. It's beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and pop up a little bit of it just so that you guys can listen. Amy's got a beautiful voice and the message is just as inspiring.
Thank
So we're
you.
gonna go ahead and oh, go ahead.
No, I said thank you.
Yeah, no, It's super inspiring. I was in tears when I first listened to it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is great." So, here we go, guys. Here's a little clip.
What if that road that you're taking's a dead end? What if love leaves you all jaded and broken? What if that limb breaks your climbing out on? Yeah, what if it all goes wrong? But what if it all goes right? What if it all works out? What if the stars line up and good luck rains down? What if you chase your dream and it changes your whole life? Yeah, what if it all goes right? What if that road is a beautiful slow drive? What if that love ends up lasting a lifetime? What if that limb holds you oak tree strong? What if this time nothing goes wrong? What if it all goes right? What if it all works out? What if the stars line up and good luck rains down? What if you chase your dream and it changes your whole life? Yeah, what if it all goes right? What if you jump on a trampoline and touch the sky? Grab a cloud as it passes by. You might fall, but then again, you might fly.
I love
That
that.
sounds
What
so
what
great.
if you chase your dreams and it changes your whole life? It's the truth.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's an 18, 20-year chase. People want it too soon. They wanna see results today.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
waited 18 years to release a song like that and put together a video like that, and let me tell you, if you told me I had to wait 18 years again, I would say, "Okay," because it was worth it. Any sooner, I probably would have screwed it up.
Wow, that's amazing. I love the lyrics, how it says "Oak tree strong." That's something that
Yes. What
you
if
don't
that
usually hear.
limb holds
It's
you oak
amazing.
tree strong? I love that. I'm like, "Yes, it's not gonna break. It's gonna hold you up."
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't a paper tree we're talking about. This is oak tree.
Yes. Yes.
Um, that's awesome. And what other music you've released a couple other singles that have come out too, and,
Yes.
talk about tell us a little bit about those.
Well, the EP is called Love Another Day, and what I loved about that title and even that song that's on there is just, it's that moment of just saying, I'm grateful. I get to love another day. I get to live another day, basically. And it's just a fun, light song. It was my favorite. It was the most country of all of them. My daughter teased me that I put a little bit of a twang in there, and I'm from Southern California. I'm like, I don't know where that came from. I just felt it. But I could turn that on in no time. But Love Another Day is fun. But the release that's out there internationally right now is the song Hold My Hand, which is a very sweet, traditional country song that's just a sweet story of young love with her new love, and then his past girlfriend walks in the room and that insecurity where she's like, now would be a good time to hold my hand. And it's a really sweet, it's like that song that I said I wanted to sing as a 3-year-old when I said I wanted to be Barbara Mandrell. It has a very classic, just clean, old style country sound to it. So it's a really fun one to release, and it's doing really well in the UK right now. And I'll release that in the US probably after What If It All Goes Right, and maybe later in the year. But the video release that I released in the meantime, because it was time sensitive, is the song on there, Fly. Fly I chose because the lyrics were literally my heart to my children, and especially to my daughter that's graduating high school here in just a couple weeks. So I picked that song last year knowing that I would release it in time for graduation this year. And I was so excited to meet that deadline. And I took it the next step that I'm not sure she's totally thrilled with me, but I got permission from the school district to film the music video on her campus of her high school about 2 months ago. So I was able to get the permissions. I got 3 of her other best friends, just amazing kids. One is our state champion in track, that they agreed to be in the video as well. So we went and shot it on campus as our celebration song for the class of 2022. And at the same time, I had families from around the country submit their photos of their graduates for this year. And I was able to implement those into the video. And so I released that one just a week ago. And I'm excited to see the results it's already getting. People are sharing it. It's so fun to see kids that I know and friends of mine from around the country that are showcasing their college and high school graduates in this video. And it's a song that says, I know you're going to fly. You're going to, eagles dream of soaring where you are. I know you'll fly. You're going to, may you give more in this life than you get. May you lead with more memories than regrets. May your friends be many and your enemies few. May the world measure love by you. I know you'll fly. And the song got me when I heard it. It was an emotional release for me to do. It's time sensitive. Whether it ever becomes a radio single or not, I don't know, and honestly don't care. It was my heart to our kids who just went through 2 years of a pandemic, 2 years of remote learning, and came out shining with honors. And I was at the honors ceremony last night for the grads, even at that high school, and to see these tremendous kids that went through and they learned to shift, just like I'm talking about. These kids had to shift in a big way, in a way that I don't know if I could have done in high school. And really proud of all of the young adults that have come through this and that are choosing to shift and to still shine and to fly.
That's a great homage to all those kids that, because I know, with COVID and everything, it's really made a dent on a lot of the kids' careers, and not careers, but academics. It,
Absolutely.
it just changed their mindset, and it was kind of rough. They didn't get to have that camaraderie with other students like they used to, and a lot of the graduations, it was just really rough. And so I just think this is a great homage to that.
It's been really fun to release that and to be able to honor these kids. So that video is on YouTube. It's out now. It's on my social media pages, and it's called Fly. And the song is also available on all streaming and download with the rest of the EP.
That's fantastic. And you guys definitely go and listen, follow along, like and follow her videos on YouTube as well. I mean, she's got them everywhere that you can listen to these. So
they're everywhere. At every streaming platform, you can't miss it. Just Google my name and put in this, you'll find me.
Exactly. Definitely support there, guys. Because it's her music and in speaking and everything. It's just so inspiring. So if you guys need a pick me up and throughout the day, Amy's your gal. Like, she's your go-to gal.
And isn't this fun? Like, I think about if I had been given this project and these dream songs and this opportunity 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have this technology. I couldn't have been live streaming with you. I couldn't have had all these digital platforms to release the music. There was no Spotify. There was no Pandora. I mean, okay, we had iTunes then, but when I was touring before, I was selling CDs out of the back of my touring truck and, going station to station, a radio station. Now I was on with a radio station in Australia yesterday because we have this amazing technology and streaming platforms and ways to connect with each other that didn't exist before. I'm so glad that I had the delayed gratification of having this project at this late stage in my career and my age to go, wow, I get to utilize all of this technology to reach the world with this, not just a local community.
Yeah, and within 2 seconds, you can reach everybody in the world, and that's absolutely amazing. And I know that's one thing, the whole pandemic did. It's the hidden lining, the silver lining of the pandemic. It did help bring us all together with this, audio, and the whole network and internet, and all that good stuff has come out before them, but it just helped to solidify it and make it so that you can connect with just about anybody anywhere. It's absolutely amazing and such a huge opportunity too. Well, what are some things, Amy, that you have really enjoyed about getting to work in the field, that you're working in now? And I know we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon, but what is one of your favorite things that you've enjoyed so far? And I don't know. I think you might be frozen. And if that's the case, it's all right. It's been super fantastic to have Amy with us right now. And she's got so many different opportunities and things. You guys can go check her out. Amy Scruggs Media is where her website is. You can learn more about her and all her speaking engagements, and things that she has done. And I mean, she's just an incredible human being and super down to earth, very inspiring. I think is not even the word to say, because it's way more than that. But anyways, it's been great to have her with us, and definitely go and support her, follow along with her music journey, Her hit single, What If It All Goes Right, has, reached over 60,000 views. So I would highly suggest go and share and, spread the love because she's got a lot of fantastic encouragement for everybody out there. So if you guys definitely go find her on Amy Suggs Media, that's where you can find a lot of her, or just Google, like she said, Google Amy, and you will find all kinds of really wonderful things that she has done and inspiration. I mean, this lady's inspiration. So I'm so thankful that we got to have her for a little bit on our show, and go listen to her single. And guys, we'll see you back here next time. We have a great guest this weekend, so I hope that you can tune in to that. We've got Michael Marks and also Glenn Radcliffe here, who was in the former Ghost film. Oh, we got her back. Hold on just a second. I'm going to bring her back on.
What was I just bragging about technology?
You know, right? It always lets you down right when you're like praising it.
I was like, isn't technology great? And all of a sudden everything just went poof and I was gone.
No.
And that was it. I'm so sorry. That,
No
we
worries.
shift, we adapt, we come back with a smile and we laugh about it. And I'm sure that you did a fantastic job sharing your beautiful wisdom and insight.
A little bit. No worries. It's all good.
It happens. Sorry.
Oh
everyone.
my gosh. It's happened multiple times. I mean, the lovely internet or whatever happens, it just, you can't control it. Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
We're talking about a metaverse. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh my God. That was so funny.
Oh,
Sorry.
look.
Okay. There you go. See, that was just that was the universe saying, Amy, you've said enough. I get the message.
Oh, it's like, Amy, we need more of your amazing power. You're just so energetic, and so much great power going through you. It just
Clearly, I blew out the whole room. I gotta rein it in.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that you popped back on, and I was just asking. I was just talking about, where we could find you to support you and everything, and I told him just to go ahead and search Amy Suggs. And then also you have your media company that you've also got on there.
Amy Scruggs Media, Amy Scruggs Music. If if you just Google Amy Scruggs, you're going to find these sites, amyscruggsmusic.com, amyscruggsmedia.com, but they both talk to each other, so you can't miss it. And going on to all of your favorite streaming platforms, whatever that is, find the music. Please like and subscribe. That really does help. Really helps me with all of these efforts. And as as an independent artist here, running my own label, running my own media company, I ask for the help. Please subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to, if it's Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, whatever it is, iHeart, whatever you use, please subscribe and reach out. I am accessible. I answer my messages on social media. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, and would love to hear from any of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's, a huge inspiring person and just so down to earth. So you guys are going to miss out if you don't. So please do that. And then, last thing, is there anything that you'd love to share to people that are getting into, I mean, we've already talked a little bit about, everything that you would love to share to people that are getting into the field, but I just wanted to kind of wrap it up with, the final thoughts and before we finish the show for the day.
I always like to share to not give up, first of all, and don't put a timeline or a time requirement. Well, I need to be this by the time I'm 35, or I need to be here by the time I'm 40. Take that time off, because time really doesn't exist that way. We're the ones that create these timelines in the world. Take the timeline off and just say, I want to be the best. I want to be at my highest and best potential and purpose and passion. And just keep thinking about what I can do, that I want to live that purpose in my life, whatever that is, and start putting that out there, and every day taking action items to get to it. And whether it takes 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or like me, 20 years, let that happen. Let that mature and happen, because the journey along the way is just as much fun. Because I'm not there. Just now I can say, well, now I'm here and then I rest. I'm not. I have no idea what 5 years holds from now. We may be having a completely different conversation, how this music opened up something else, maybe for working in my nonprofit or things like that. So just don't put timelines, don't put endings on something, and just go design the life you want to live, and accept the failures as an amazing blessing, because they're going to lead you to the next thing.
That's absolutely amazing. And it's true. The journey along the way prepares you for what you're going to do.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Amy. And guys, join us back here next time on Malbash Spotlight Show. And Amy, have a wonderful rest of your day, and the rest of you guys do as well.